Hi everyone, welcome to Forward Accounting's channel. My name is Karuna Malik. I am the Director Principal of Forward Accounting. And today I have on my channel Niti Bhargava, who is the broker and she runs her own broking firm by GB Financials. Welcome Niti to the channel and thank you for joining us today. Today,
Thank you
our
so much, Karuna.
Excellent. Today, our topic is we are going to discuss for the benefit of our audiences that how a broker can also play a very important role in wealth creation and how a broker can also help you to achieve all the financial goals if you plan it strategically. Now, before we get into this conversation, I would like to make a disclaimer that this podcast is not a financial advice. It's a conversation that we are having for the benefit of the audiences. But if you need specific advice in terms of the accounting or your borrowing capacity, you can get in touch with either of us, for which I will be leaving the details in the description of this podcast. Let's get the ball rolling, Niti. Now, tell our audiences a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, first of all, Karuna. Thank you so much for having me in your podcast. It's such a great pleasure to speak to your audience. Yes, as you have rightly said, I am the principal broker and the founder of GB Financials. I've been in this industry for almost all my life. So, almost 20 years of experience as an ex-banker and the financial broker as well. We do basically cater all over Australia. Anybody who is actually looking to create wealth via property or just even buying their first home, or the business clients who are struggling to understand the cash flow loopholes in their entire financials. We are the ones we provide the what I call financial injections in their businesses as well. It's a holistic solution based business.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what do you see in today's market are the biggest challenges that for the client who's looking to borrow, what are the challenges you think they are facing?
Sure. First and foremost, there is a lot of information online, Karuna. And again, I always say when there is a specific problem which a specific professional can handle in a specific professional manner for you, you just don't ask Google for the solutions for these kind of questions, right? So if there is an headache, you're Googling it and Google can straight away say, oh, you might have cancer or these diseases. This is sometimes that over catering of the information can be really, really harmful. Every single person's situation is different when it comes to finance, and of course it would be same in your case as well. In accounting, two similar businesses started their journey at the same time might not have the similar sort of models.
Yeah.
Same thing is happening. What I say, every single day people are coming and they are kind of half cooked information. They bring that sort of information. They think that they know what they're doing, but I guess the foundation is totally wrong, and we'll have to sometimes restart them. Sometimes we have to take two steps back as well, rather than forwarding them to the next steps. It's been a very dicey market out there, where specifically first home buyers, they rely on social media channels, and the existing buyers who want to buy the investment properties or the second, third, fourth property, they are also very threatened by all of this over information all over the place.
You are like that specific doctor who can help them, in terms
Absolutely.
of their borrowing journey. Excellent.
Absolutely. That's my favorite example.
What do you think, given RBA has not even changed the interest rate or lowered them down over the Christmas break, where are you think
Yeah.
the lending rates are heading? Are we expecting any
Um,
changes, any lowering of interest coming around?
of course, when we talk about the interest rates, there are two types of rates, fixed and variable, right? I'll answer your first question first. Why there has not been any decline into the interest rates? Because they are watching the pricing index. They are watching the employment rate in Australia. Australian market has been very, very interesting, and that does get direct impact from the macro level of economics and political landscapes. What's happening in US? What's happening for the wars? What's happening in the supply chain? We have been kind of quite tolerant in last 2 to 3 years time, but still they are actually watching the entire landscape very, very closely. And that's where I guess we do have a very conservative approach. We don't want to start reducing the rates straight away after even there is one or two things which are working in our favor, which might be in favor of a lot of clients as well. Because I say when we teach a lot of things in our financial literacy sessions, and I say interest rate is just one tiny little factor in your entire journey. Proper structure and proper planning is the one which will help you in repaying that debt really quickly. But a lot of people, unfortunately, I see they don't have any strategy. They don't have any planning. They just take the 30 years loan and then they keep watching the interest rates news every single day, getting panicked, getting threatened. All the family friends keep putting their opinions who have never kind of made their strategies as well. And this is where, again, I would say a broker, an accountant, they can bring a lot of difference in your entire journey if you have got the experts around you. In terms of the rates changing, the fixed rates, they have started to increase already because the data over the period has not been coming favorable. So I'm not seeing any variable rates decline probably for first quarter of this year at all. But again, as you rightly said, it's all generic information depending on the data that we have been provided as well. So do not quote us on that. But this year, I would say more stability will come, but not rapid, sharp, declines now.
Cool. You've already answered my next question, which that whether we are expecting any interest rate cuts or not. But do you think the banks are getting stricter, or you think the lending criteria is going to soften up a little bit?
I have actually answered this question all my life, all my professional life. It's not about they are getting stricter or it's easy, or it's, as I said, every single person's situation is different. There's no cookie cutter approach. And people say, oh, if I would have bought it in 2015, I would be in a better position by now. There is no right time. There is no right place. It's just understanding your own personal financial goals before you keep comparing your journey with others. Well, people who are information savvy, people who have got that experts team around them, like an expert, like a really, really great accountant around them, a broker around them, a financial planner around them, they understand, how we can change their journey in the next 5 to 10 years time. Those people, they don't wait for the right time and the right interest rate. They just make the decision based on the information they have been provided from the experts, and they just move on. People who would not even bother making an appointment with an accountant or with a financial planner or with a broker, they just keep sitting, they just watching the media. Media is a noise at the end of the day. Media is just talking to you about the general overall situation. It's not your personal situation.
Correct.
And I hear a lot, Karuna, and as I said again, 20 years in my broking journey or the financial journey, people come and, but why my friend has done this? My friend has got 10 properties, I haven't got 2. Because your friend has been making plans, and then he might have got a great team around them. That's the reason.
Absolutely. To the audiences who are listening in to us, Niti has made a very good point. Even for you to have wealth creation, you need to have experts around you. And if you are just trying to save the cost of those experts and you think you're going to create the wealth, you might end up making some wrong decisions, which will cost you in longer run. All these experts, they are worth the charge they ask you for, because they are also trying to work with you to get to your goals that you wish to achieve in a period of time. Moving on, Niti, what are the most common mistakes that people make before applying for a loan that can hurt their chances?
A lot of people, they are in a habit of just sending the online quotes to different lenders, to different banks, and they don't realize sometimes, specifically the small business owners, sometimes they're just trying to get the overdrafts by themselves or trying to get the small business working capital by themselves as well. They're just doing the online applications. But as I said, I am your doctor, I'm your finance doctor. I know which nerve I need to touch on to fix a particular problem. You won't know that, right? And I don't, again, whatever AI person does, I have zero knowledge in that, right? If I am reaching out to them, they're gonna do wonders as per my expectations. Same thing in finance as well. People do, and specifically first home buyers, these small business owners, I see they do a lot of online activity. By the time they come to you, their credit report is already ruined, and they don't understand the importance of having a really, really good credit score, because if your scores are down under a certain scores, then it just impacts bigger time your capability of borrowing money. Or for the small business owners, the interest rate hurts them really, really badly because sometimes it just doubles. So as I said, there's a lot of information online. The educational content you must follow, you must look into that, but do not just keep sending your details everywhere and anywhere. Just check the terms and conditions, see if it is going to be appear on your credit report as a credit inquiry.
That's a very fair point. Very, very fair point. Now, in terms of self-employed clients, because there are a lot of them who are working as self-employed, what sort of challenges you see they are facing when they are seeking a loan from the bank?
I'll categorize them into different categories. There are one self-employed people who have got amazing accountants behind them, and they work really well with them, and they just throw the entire burden on the accountants, and they know that whatever they will be doing in the background, it will be in their good interest, right?
Yeah.
So one category is category number two, hiding everything, not showing anything on the transactions. Cash money, right? So cash transactions, and they are thinking, why banks are not lending me money? Why my accountant is charging me extra for these things, right? Why? Because you're not investing, first of all, into the softwares which your accountant has asked you to do at the first instance. It's gonna make everyone's life easy. And if you're in a business, and this is a very, very valid point, I think what I have learned over the years, if you are in a business and if you have no plans of growth or upscaling your business, you are wasting your time. You should rather go back and work for someone, because businesses are meant to be grown, businesses are meant to be upscaled, and for that you need money, and you are using your own money. At some point of time, that money is going to be blocked. First of all, people are not understanding the difference in the cash flow and the profit. Yes, you may have extra or the sufficient cash flow to tap on to cover your personal or business expenses, but you are not growing. You are not growing because you're tapping and you're impacting the profits in a bigger term. These kind of people, the second category, it's hard to hold their hand and to grow their businesses to the next stage because you're doing it wrong. You're not understanding the structure.
Excuse me.
And saving money. Don't just go back to your accountant and just keep asking, how can I save money? Because your accountant would know more than you know how to save money. But yeah, just listen.
How do you think a proactive accountant improve a client's borrowing power?
Oh, absolutely. I have seen, the amazing accountants who can completely change the entire business journey or the wealth creation journey. Firstly, they are invested in the AIs, right? The technology and the softwares, and they are setting up. And I love when I love when the accountants push back those kind of clients who are like, oh, I'm not spending money on these. I'm not spending money on these subscriptions and stuff like that, because they know it's going to simplify everyone's life. And moving forward, there is no other way of doing things. I love those accountants who just want to do right thing at the right time and to the right with the right kind of approach for the clients. So that makes huge difference. And the accountants who are, and I love you for that, because I have seen how much you really invest, how much time do you really invest to share the knowledge or the new tips or the new updates which are coming in your industry. So I love those EDMs of yours, by the way.
Thank you.
And how quickly or how frequently they are getting in touch with their clients. It's not like, oh, only the text times you bother me, I bother you, but just updating them is really kind of moving forward key to success. Communication, I guess communication is the main
key. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. What is the biggest misconception about a good debt versus a bad debt?
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's music to my ears, because this is what I try to explain all the time to the clients who are really scared of borrowing money, or they're not understanding how is it going to impact your business growth and stuff. As I said, if you're in a business, you must look into the growing of the business and just not that stagnant or survival kind of mode. In simplified words, so good debt is the debt which will help you in growing your business to the next stage and upscaling And it could be in terms of investing in the new technology or hiring the new staff or renovating your, for example, I'll take a cafe example. That's my favorite example. If you know that with the renovating or getting the things done into the very peppy way, which will attract you a lot of clientele, don't use your own money. Get the business overdrafts or the working capitals or the small business loans. And these are the short-term unsecured liabilities. And if it's not tied up with any of your assets as well, that means short-term means it will also keep you motivated to make those profits, bring that money into the business to repay it quickly. And now what you have done for yourself, you have got a brand new ambience, brand new setup, and you are growing. You will get to attract new clients as well. At the same time, you have not used your own cash flow. You have not touched or you have not pressurized your own structure. In terms of this is a good debt. Bad debt is where you are struggling to even make your daily expenses. You are struggling to pay your staff members, you are struggling to pay your daily subscriptions or the suppliers, and you never ever get into that situation because lenders won't touch you at this situation. While we are talking good and bad debt, I just want to debunk one myth here. People come to us when they are already gone into that struggling loop, Karuna. Then they're like, oh, now fix me. People, I have heard so many stories where people are like, oh, we are cash loaded, we don't need any debt. Well, you're cash loaded, but that cash is your business's asset, right?
Yes.
That should not be used for the growth. That should not be that. And when you are using it, you would realize in next 6 months' time, you will get into that struggling phase because you have already now used that sort of
All that cash.
cash. So that's the biggest myth that I debunk every single day for the small business owners.
But in terms of the small business owners, how do you help them with their cash flow issues as well? You've just touched on few loans option, but given, as you know, the few businesses are struggling with ATO debts and cash flow issues, are there any specific loans that you help the clients in supporting that cash flow for working capital and paying off the ATO debts so that they can still take those profits home?
ATO debt is the biggest one since probably a year or so. Since, as you would know, last 1st of July, the ATO is not considering it as a business expense anymore.
Correct, the interest on the paid on the loans, yes.
Absolutely. So since then, a lot of smaller lenders or the business lenders, they have come into the picture and they are like, we'll refinance this ATO debt for you. And this now becomes the business expense and you can actually claim it under your tax return as an expense. There are specific lenders who are totally accredited with just the small business funding. So working capital is a really big one at the moment. As I said, if you know that you are expanding the business in next 6 to 12 months time and your sales are going great, this is the actual right time to look into your options. And I'm always guided by amazing accountants. I am a big team collaborative person. I never say that you should only talk to a broker, you should only talk to a financial planner. No, you need your team around you. If someone is coming to me, they should also go to Karuna because Karuna is going to look into the bigger picture because you are expert, you are the doctor of your own accounting. I always go back to the accountants, their accountants, and I ask them the question, what are your opinions? What do you think that, what kind of help they need? Because there are so many options out there, Karuna, as you know. Some people, they just end up buying assets with their own personal money and with their profits and their cash flow. That's not the right way. Asset finance is the right option for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to your accounting, ask the question, where is the problem? Then we can actually find you the right fit solution. Otherwise, if you are just working in your own head and you don't want to show it to you to your transactions and this and that, then you figure it out alone.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is one tip that you would give to the first time investors who are considering to buy their first investment property? What is one tip that you would like to share?
I guess again, I send them back to their accountant first. Find your why. Why do you want to do it? Right? There could be so many different reasons getting into the investment market. It could be their tax reduction strategy, could be wealth creation strategy. It could be because they want to pay off their debt quickly and they want to invest in investment properties first and then they will sell it. Everything should come with the opinion of your accountant first because they are the ones who are looking after your money. and they know how strong you are or how weak you are. And it's like there is no bad spot. If the accountant is saying that, oh, no, not now, but this is how you do it. I guess in finance, business, accounting, finance, financial planner, it's all about your personal goals, right?
Yes,
If you
absolutely.
know this is what I want to achieve, and that's where I say at least talk, just don't think or just don't Google it. At least talk to the right people, talk to the
Yes.
right team. They'll make it possible for you. If we can't do it now, we'll do it in next 6 to 12 months time, or whatever, right? We'll tell you 2 years time we'll do this or that, but at least you will have some sort of strategies in your mind.
Absolutely. And you can take those steps now, which leads me to the next question, that if
Yeah.
someone wants to buy in next 12 months, what is one thing that they can start doing today? Now, this
First of
question
all,
can be for two types: for residential customers, if they're looking
yeah,
to buy and they are actually working for someone on TFN, and probably a self-employed, someone
self-employed.
running their own business. The answer might be actually two answers to this question. What can they
Yeah.
start doing today?
Overall, first thing first, regardless you are PAYG or self-employed, important to clean up all your transaction structure. Again, your accountant can help you with that, because
Yeah.
some people, specifically self-employed people, the sole traders, they tend to use their business accounts, their personal accounts, they're mixing it up, all the transactions, and it's so hard by the time we're just trying to figure out your actual income
Yeah.
for servicing. It is hard. First of all, have a really good structure of your banking as well, a clear structure. And again, your accountant can help you with that. They can explain it to you. Have those business credit cards ready, have those business overdrafts ready, which is totally separate. And people don't understand that if you are running under a company or a trust, and if you have got any business liability, that do not those liabilities do not impact your borrowing capacity, because that's a business expense. So this is where a lot of people get confused with the structure. Again, go back to your accountant, get the clarity on the structure. First thing is, get the good structure, so that it's very easy to simplify, right? Credit scores, credit reports. People don't, and I've been like a broker for last 6 years now, Karuna, and every single year there is one or two, either the videos that I upload, or the articles or the podcast or whatever. I do a lot on credit score, because still there is probably 70 to 80%, population out there, they have not touched on their Equifax forever. Maybe if you ask them, they won't even remember. Some
Yeah.
people don't even know what Equifax is, and people don't even understand you can get the free reports,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So get that right. It should not be a surprise when we are borrowing money. So keep up if you can't do it for 3 months, do it after 6 months. It's
Yeah.
a free report, right? But it's so important, and it does impact your overall plans of borrowing money. It could be regardless you're a small business owner or you're a residential or you're an investor. Every single time you're borrowing money, your credit report will be looked at. And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, but because now banks are looking to the comprehensive credit reports,
Mhm.
so there is nothing to hide. I cannot say that, or we just give them these statements, we won't hide.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
That's
So
like your
comprehensive
report
credit
card
report.
of your day-to-day spending and how you behave from paying your bills, how you manage your credit history. That's what it is. It's very
Absolutely.
important. What is now, we're going to conclude our podcast. What is one thing that you are going to leave the audiences with, that how can a good broker can actually help them just beyond securing a loan? What is that one thing that you would leave the clients with? It's just not about securing a loan. What else does a broker do behind the scene?
I would say enhancing your financial literacy levels, and creating that experts team around you. We really are good at it, because, of course, we would have people around us who we trust as well. Because of course, I can probably talk about my industry. I can probably say that 60-70% of brokers in my industry, they do things transparent and in the best interest of our client. We would have people around us already who we trust and who we love working with, and we know that they will work in your best interest as well. Even though you don't have any immediate needs of borrowing money, but enhancing that financial literacy level, we can really make a difference in your world.
Excellent. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you so much for your time today. Now, for the audiences, I would leave the link for Niti's email and phone number in the podcast. If you are thinking to start your journey for borrowing for any purposes, get in touch with her. And if you need someone who can help you as your advisor and can help you structure your finances correctly, then get in touch with me, and then I can always help you that what structure would fit best according to your conditions and needs, and then you can always achieve your goals. It's nothing that is impossible in terms of achieving your wealth goal, but it just requires a planning, and as Niti said, it requires a good team behind you to get you where you want to go. Thank you, Niti, once again for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you in another podcast.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.